we are in the champ select at this point of time, so the bans have already gone underway, and like I said, the very first game is like Clash of the Colossal Titans from Group A. It's going to be Azubu Taipei Snipers up against AHQ Esports Club. So bans are already done. Cassadin, Fresh, and Sylvia on the side of TPS, Elise, Dr. Mundo, and Gragas for AHQ Esports Club.
So Elise being banned out here, we've seen Elise being first picked a lot in the foreign scenes, and we see AHQ Esports Club picking up Lucian, Rengar, Malphite, and Pantheon on their side, while Taipei Snaipers has picked up Renekton, Leona, Lee Sin, and they're hovering an Ezreal down here. So, Wolf, tell me more about this Lucian, Rengar, Malphite, and Pantheon on the side of AHQ Esports Club.
This is a complete all-in team coming in from AHQ. Malphite will most likely go into the mid lane, Pantheon in the jungle, something we have actually seen very popular in the EU and NALCS. Players such as Spenskiren as well as I Will Dominate has played Pantheon in the jungle quite a bit. And like I said, it's going to be an all-in team kind of strategy coming out from AHQ Esports Club, with Lucian in the backline, with a bunch of burst damage coming out from that champion in itself. So other than that, as you know, as we see Azubu Taipei Snaipers finally decide to lock in their final two picks, it's going to be Ziggs in the mid lane as well as Ezreal being played by the Azubu Taipei Snaipers.
Well, so Lee Sin being an extra blind monk down here. So as we see the champions being swapped around a bit, and we see Twisted Fate being locked in by AHQ Esports Club down here, which means it is a Malphite support. This couldn't be any more all-in from AHQ coming into this game.
That's right, it's going to be a Malphite support, and Twisted Fate, again, it's a very interesting champion pick that we have not exactly seen in the other regions. And even in the GPL, this Twisted Fate pick is something that we hardly even see coming in. I mean, we have seen Twisted Fate sort of, but it's not very popular. I just have to say it's not very popular in the region at this point of time. And if Westdoor is able to pull off one of that miraculous initiates coming in from Twisted Fate, and if Pantheon as well as Malphite is able to follow up, there's going to be a very strong combination. So what do you think about the two team comps from AHQ as well as the Azubu Taipei Snaipers?
Well, I actually would have to give the advantage to AHQ in this case. All-in compositions, when you're ahead, you press R, you win. When you're behind, you press R, you still win. So it doesn't really matter. If they can find the right places to engage on the Taipei Snaipers, AHQ is definitely going to take this game.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see how the new season of the GPL kind of affects these teams. If they are able to kind of sniff out each other in the early stages of, or in the early points of the group stage, they can definitely pick out a few wins. And it does seem that, or it might seem that AHQ has some sort of a cheese team composition coming into this game, because it's not very, conventional to see a Malphite in the being played as support while the colors, and the Twisted Fate being played in the mid lane all too much. So let's kind of go with this very interesting negativity of Summoner's Rift coming in, the black and white grounds, I would say. So here we are into the game already, and let's kind of talk about the okay, finally the colors fixed. Summoner's Rift decided to kind of reborn its greenery once more. So let's kind of talk about the lanes from both teams. So we have O'Real playing Ziggs in the mid lane. We also have, we actually will see a little bit more coming in from the teams here. Azubu Taipei Snaipers might want to go for the aggression at this point of time, and they are just going to back off after being spot out by Green Tea, who is playing the Malphite in the bot lane itself. So, do you expect to see any invades come in for the early game?
Well, actually, I think that with the team movement earlier, Taipei Snaipers were actually looking to go in for an invade, but with the line of scrimmage being formed by AHQ now, that they didn't really get caught out, and Ziggs throwing the bomb there actually revealed the position of Azubu Taipei Snaipers. So AHQ will be sniffing out, and they might be anticipating an invade from the Azubu Taipei Snaipers, but the Azubu Taipei Snaipers have decided to back off and not risk a level 1 fight at this point of time.
Yeah, that's right, and they do initiate a lane swap, so we will have got JJ playing Ezreal and Awe playing Leona, the AD carry, and support go up into the top lane to face Pride's who is actually using Rengar this game. Rengar, we know, was disabled for the longest of times due to some bugs or some exploits that can be abused. And Oreo just poking his head out, once again throwing the bouncing bomb just to kind of scout out the jungle pathing of AHQ.
So it is a bit interesting to see this lane swap coming in from the Azubu Taipei Snipers as AHQ starts to pick up the blue buff on their side, because with the tower changes, the towers at the bottom lane have a much lower armor value, which means the AHQ will be able to push faster in this lane swap scenario. So Don, tell me, what do you think is how do you think these lanes are going to pan out?
I mean, we know that, as in, not we know, we can see how easily it is to bully out the solo laner, especially when you're playing Ezreal and Leona. Leona is a champion that's able to zone you quite a bit, and Ezreal with that long-range pulse, if he manages to land a few mystic shots, it's just going to cause you a lot of problems. And we see here West now being bullied out by Oreo a little bit, although he needs to get away from this gank attempt coming in by Naz. Naz is still forcing the chase in, but a very good reaction coming out from the Azubu Taipei Snipers. We did see earlier Awe actually making his way down to give Oreo a little bit of support. So that's the sort of advantage when you have a 2v1 lane. Your support player can actually just roam across the map to help the mid lane if he's in any sort of trouble.
So Naz trying to pull off the first gang of the GPL season, and it wasn't really successful. But I want to talk a bit more about this lane swap scenario down here. Pantheon's Aegis of Xenona lets him block tower shots, which means that his tower dives onto Zonda later on will be a lot more potent than what Lee Sin can do. Although Lee Sin has got lots of mobility, he can jump in and jump out and pull off some shenanigans with his skill set. I think the fact that Pantheon can block up so much tower damage, 2 shots in fact from the tower, it will actually give AHQ the upper hand in this lane swap.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting to see what Wins is doing, because as you can see on the minimap, he's trying to actually pull off some counter jungling, like you said, shenanigans there in the top lane. He actually does kind of spot out Naz coming in. He throws a Sonic Wave, doesn't manage to connect to follow up that resonating strike. He does have the double buffs. He has that red side, or the red side of AHQ kind of warded up, and it does seem that he will be taking the red buff away. So Naz actually getting bullied out in the early stages of the game. That's not something we actually see Pantheon jungles face. A problem that we don't really see Pantheon jungles face, especially in the LCS. So it's interesting to see how Wins has decided to play this jungle matchup.
So Wins actually, this was all because Naz tried to go for that early game gank onto mid lane, because Wins saw him move into the mid lane. He says, oh, I know where your jungler is now, and he decides to move in for the counter jungle and try to get some advantage whenever they get any information as to where the opponent's jungler is.
Yeah, and I really like this 2v1 lane swap coming in from the Azubu Taipei Snipers. And it does seem that they had preemptively prepared for this, and Leona, or being played by Awe, has actually gone for the Relic Shield to actually share some of the experience. It's quite interesting to see Awe not use that charge on the big cannon minion there, because that usually gives you the most gold shared among both the carry and support in itself. So here we have in the bot lane, Zonda not really taking much damage because he's a Renekton. He's able to use the counter meek to just kind of heal himself back up and sustain in the lane.
Well, I actually find this really interesting. I mean, that was a small mistake by Leona there, but let's look at the big picture here. Naz is constantly camping top lane. Earlier, we mentioned how strong his tower dives can be if he actually goes to bottom lane now and dives Zonda at bottom lane. It means that AHQ will be able to pick up the bottom lane tower and hang on, there's a fight.
Garnet Devil actually getting ignited. We do have Wins coming in from the back. Gets the Tempest and gets the slow onto Garnet Devil. Will he be able to connect that Sonic Wave? He does connect the Sonic Wave. The barrier's power to Garnet Devil. First blood goes to Green Tea, and Wins does pick up the counter kill. So we do have that 1-for-1 trade in the bot lane here. So, you know, you did expect some aggression coming from Naz, but the aggression is not over. Green Tea has no mana. Wins decides not to dive this rock-solid Malphite.
So Green Tea and Gunner Devil showing why they are one of the strongest bot lanes in that situation. It was a bit of a careless engagement there from Wins and Zonda. They kind of mistimed the gang. Zonda moved forward a little too early, and he got punished for it. Green Tea and Gunner Devil immediately turned the heat onto him and put lots of damage onto him with the Ignite and the Burst set of Lucian. So this is why Lucian is one of the strongest AD carries in the game at the moment, and he can put up so much punishment if you mistime anything onto him. So 1-for-1 there, but first blood goes to AHQ.
I must say that was great play by Garnet Devil, recognizing the fact that, you know, Wince is going to come and get me. He got the tempers and the slowdown. And instead of walking away from the minion wave, he decides to flash in aggressively because he saw Zonda out of position low enough and allowed them to get the kill.
However, this might not really be that good for AHQ in retrospect because they use a lot of summoners for that. Usually in a 2v2 lane, if you use all your summoners and your opponent uses all their summoners, it's fine because both is 4 summoners for 4 summoners. But in this case, they use 4 summoners for 2 summoners on the side of TPS Zonda.
Yeah, kind of playing along that fact, we should expect Wince to kind of gang the bot lane again. We know that this Green Devil bot lane, or Garnet T, however you want to call it, Green T, Garnet Devil bot lane is going to be very strong. And a lot of teams have kind of tried to focus their efforts on shutting down this bot lane combination coming out from AHQ Esports. So we may see Azubu Taipei Snaipers decide to go for that as well. We have Wince in the bottom half of the map, and that may illustrate a gank coming in. So he does ping out the lane. Let's see if there will be any sort of action coming in for the gank here. So Zonda going in, pops his Dominus ultimate, and now the Twisted Fate ultimate comes out as well. Pops the Destiny, Westdog comes into the middle of the fight, and now the Ziggs bomb, Mega Photobomb comes in, no kill coming out from Azubu Taipei Snaipers, but instead AHQ Esports gets the upper hand on that counter gang there.
So AHQ's team composition showing its strengths. The moment they hit 6, press R and get into fights using the global presence of Twisted Fate to large effect in the fight over there. But hang on at top lane here, and Price goes down.
That's right. So what happened in the top lane was that Awe went in for the initiation. We've got JJ actually poking him down from the side. Price was able to kind of use his On the Hunt ultimate, but nevertheless Awe was still able to catch him out and got JJ, and Awe just got the kill there in the top lane. So the top lane turret is going to go down extremely fast, push down the top lane turret, and now Azubu Taipei Snaipers have that 1 turret advantage over AHQ. The goal difference is still a mere 300 though, so there's not going to, or 500, sorry. There's not going to be much, there's not going to play much of an effect coming into this early stage of the game so far, unless they get more kills and try to snowball the goal lead ahead a little bit.
And so the lane swap working in the favor of TPS, allowing them to get the first tower. So now the question is, how will TPS use this advantage? So now they have down the first tower, which grants them a lot more access. Hang on, lots of pings going off in the jungle.
There are a lot of pings going on in the jungle. This pink ward here, actually, what Azubu Taipei Snaipers have done with the dual lane at the top is that they are able to kind of get the advantage, and then kickback coming in. Naz being chucked down extremely low. Awe picks up the kill, gets his second kill of the game. The bloodthirsty support. Leona there, just getting all the kills on the side of Azubu Taipei Snaipers.
Wince being all over the map in this game. He went to top lane, stole the rebuff, went to bottom.
Yeah,
we have again coming in here. Zonda drop extremely low. P-pops his ultimate. Culling.
That's right, the culling comes out from Garnet Devil, but he does manage to get the Ruthless Predator onto Green Tea, and that allows him to pick the 1-for-1 trade down in the bot lane. However, AHQ does pick up the turret.
So once again, Westdog showing what a global bully he is, using his ultimate to move in all over the place and get in there and secure the bot lane tower for his team. However, at mid lane, while Westdog rotated bottom to help down the bot lane tower, the rotations from Astro got JJ and Awe. They moved mid lane and picked up the turret in exchange. So this is AHQ playing to their team composition and TPS reacting extremely well to that. They are getting very good depth and a very good feel of where the AHQ team is going to be and reacting and rotating accordingly. You go bottom, we're going to go mid and down your tower in exchange.
Yeah, so Azubu Taipei Snaipers seem to be still a very objective-focused team. We saw earlier the only lane that they decided to pressure with Wince as the jungler was the bot lane, because they wanted to shut down the Garnet Devil Green Tea bot lane combination. And they haven't lost sight of the objective, so whenever AHQ decides to pick an objective for themselves, Azubu Taipei Snaipers will respond with an objective of their own. We saw Westlaw roam down to the bottom lane, and Azubu Taipei Snaipers recognized that fact and went to the mid lane, which was completely free of any AHQ presence, and just took that one down. So AHQ did manage to pick a tower down in the bot lane, but TPS responds with the turret in the mid lane. So it's going to be a 2-for-1 turret count Azubu Taipei Snipers currently still has that gold lead, has stretched it to about 600 or hovering around 500 gold.
So Wins down here, he has been the real story in this game. As Price throws his bola strike at Zonda, Wins is being a complete beast in this game. In fact, he is actually level 11 already in this game. Man drop coming down into the dragon.
Yeah, that's right. Wins not being able to get that dragon steal. Azubu Taipei Snipers is able to get Westor, however, and it does seem that Azubu Taipei Snipers want to be the aggressor for this one. Awe does not have his solar flare up, used it in that engagement as Naz came in with the Grand Skyfall, and they do manage to push AHQ Esports back. The chunk damage or the poke damage coming out from O'Real on Ziggs with that blue buff should actually force AHQ off the turret, and this should be a free turret for the Azubu Taipei Snipers. It was quite unfortunate that Wins wasn't able to secure the smite onto the dragon, but nevertheless, that was good response coming out from AHQ to actually at least secure the dragon despite losing this bot lane turret. Oh, actually the bot lane turret is still quite healthy because of the 2v1 lane swap, so it's going to take some time for Azubu Taipei Snipers to actually push that turret down.
So AHQ using their global presence to secure the dragon, and TPS reacting very well to that and picking up a kill in exchange for that. So goal lead now stands at 200 goal between TPS and AHQ. This is an extremely close game. So Wolf, tell me, what do you think is going to happen next? What do you think is the next big objective that the two teams are going to contest over?
I don't know. I think this is a question better suited for you, don't you think, J-Storm? I mean, you've been kind of commenting on how the AHQ team comp is an all-in team comp, so wouldn't AHQ be the team that wants to force the objective, to force Azubu Taipei Snipers down a short choke point and allow the ultimates to kind of fire off one at a time?
Well, definitely, I think AHQ, they will want to start rotating around the map more and trying to find Azubu Taipei Snipers in their jungle, using the global presence from Grand Skyfall and Twisterface's ultimate to come in and catch anybody from TPS who is alone.
Yeah, that's right. We failed to kind of talk about the global presence that AHQ kind of brings in Champion Select. And having the Grand Skyfall as well as Twisted Fate's Destiny coming in, the Destiny Gate combo, you're able to kind of pick off anyone as long as they are alone with that combination in itself. So if you go into Twisted Fate's gold card, you can easily set up a perfect or pinpoint Grand Skyfall to deal the maximum amount of burst damage. However, I must say that the warding coming out from both teams isn't too exceptional because there isn't really many deep wards coming out from either side, and Azubu Taipei Snipers as well as AHQ Esports are mainly just focusing on the choke points coming in, or the entrance pathways into each of their respective jungles.
So let's take a look at the items over here. As a fight breaks out in top lane, Bright is dealing out Zonda, and Zonda decides to back off using his slice and dice. So going back to the items over here, Sunfire Cape for both top laners as Grand Skyfall comes in and bottom lane.
That's right, so God JJ is the one that's getting taken down immediately. Awe is now in a bunch of trouble, gets the gold card, gets the stun locked onto him, and Awe will definitely go down onto this one. HQ might want to force the bot turret next because they do have a 4-man stack coming in. Let's see how Azubu Taipei Snipers responds to this. They get the 2 kills and they are able to do it.
So AHQ once again bullying out the positioning of Taipei Snipers, moving all over the place and coming in and picking up a kill and the bottom lane tower as they continue to press the advantage on the bottom lane base tower.
That's right. These base turrets do not have a bunch of resistances, and they are able to just take the 2 kills down into the bot lane and easily follow it up with a 1-2 turret kill. So AHQ Esports, at first I said Azubu Taipei Snipers have the hold on the objective, but it does seem AHQ Esports really want to win this one or at least win the objective 4. They now extend their goal lead to about 2,000 gold in their favor. The first time in the game that they actually take the lead. We do have wins coming in with the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike and Ultimate combo, but the combination coming out from O'Real is able to kind of just nuke down Pantheon. So now Green Tea will not be able to escape from this one. O'Real gets a double kill. So nice rotation coming in from Azubu Taipei Snipers. However, they did lose their bot lane inhibitor turret.
So Azubu Taipei Snipers recognizing that the ultimates on the side of the AHQ team were down, and they decided to find them, and they managed to catch them out there. So punishing them for using their engagements earlier, and they went in and they got a 2-for-1 trade.
That's right. So it's been quite interesting, the matchup in the top lane, because we haven't seen Pride or Zonda actually roam down much to help the team. They are still at level 10, and whereas the rest of the solo laners have gotten there about those kind of levels as well. But staying up in the top lane, they've managed to accrue quite a bit of farm, and now that they've hit sort of an item threshold, getting the first defensive item onto both of them picking up the Sunfire's Cape first, they might want to transition into a team fight where we'll finally see a 5v5 kind of situation. And earlier in the bot lane, I have to kind of ask you, what went right for AHQ? Because, like you said, they used their all-in composition against Azubu Taipei Snipers.
So definitely now the AHQ, they have constantly been using their ultimates in this game, pressing R to try and find anybody on the side of Taipei Snipers out and catching them, and using that to their advantage. So the moment they see anybody alone from Taipei Snipers, they jump in with the Grand Skyfall and the Destiny Gate combo, pick the person off, and force a rotation from Taipei Snipers while they take objectives and towers. However, Taipei Snipers in that situation, they reacted well, and they knew that the ultimates had been expanded already, taking out one of their members. So they decided to go for a re-engage as AHQ was backing off, and they managed to pick them off.
Yeah, that's right. What do you think AHQ's game plan is now that they have the bot inhibitor exposed? Because the bot lane inhibitor is an inhibitor that's furthest away from the Baron pit. And having that inhibitor being the furthest lane away, it's going to open up a lot more objectives coming in from AHQ. AHQ has yet to pick up the mid lane outer turret though, so that may be their next... as I say that, they've decided to prioritize Dragon as the next global objective that they want to pick up.
I would actually think AHQ...
Well, we may see a fight break out here. Zonda comes in with the Dominus passive, and Nas just gets completely taken out. He does manage to get the Smile to Dragon. Westdor taken out extremely low. Got JJ in the backline, being bursted around by Price as much as possible. He does not manage to survive that one. Price flashing over the wall, but Zonda actually gets the counter flash and goes in for the kill. Ghana Devil now is being chased by Zonda and zoned out from his own jungle. In the meantime, we do have Azubu Taipei Snipers actually go in and try to push as much of the wave as possible into the mid lane, hoping to press the inhibitor turret, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. They decide to back off instead, rotate to the top lane, in which they have a huge minion wave being pushed into the inner turret, and they may decide to back off from here because the death timers aren't that high, and AHQ Esports have all 5 members up once again.
So I think that was AHQ Esports that being a bit, as the Destiny Gate combo comes in with the Grand Skyfall.
Yes, right. O'Reilly gets taken down extremely low. Nas is able to pick up the kill. So this is the global composition that's used from AHQ Esports. And Nas gets a double kill there. So yes, he might be squishy coming into the team fights, but whenever AHQ is able to kind of make the initiations, they have the upper hand and they can instantly burst any target down, as you have just seen there.
Actually, I'm not very impressed with the AHQ is managing their ultimates and the objective control in this game. I actually felt that the Dragon Core there from them that wasn't very good. They should actually be sticking with the game plan of using their global ultimates to try and catch anyone from Azubu Taipei Snipers out before attempting those objectives. So they went in for the Dragon, although they might have gotten it, it was really risky from them because it ended up with a Smite Wall, and in Smite Walls, it's kind of a coin flip. Anybody could have gotten it. Well, they might have gotten the objective in that case, but in the situation where Taipei Snipers picked up Dragon instead, AHQ might have found themselves falling further and might find themselves falling behind as they actually traded down in kills in that engage.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that AHQ might be falling further behind, but in fact, this strategy seems to be working for them, as we do see Nas getting caught out by the Leona combination. Ezreal and Leona trying to come in and try to burst down Nas as much as possible, but they do succeed. Price coming in from the back line trying to disrupt the combination of God JJ as well as Awe as much as possible. But we do have God JJ actually spotting Price out, and now we will see Rengar trying to being chased out of this one. They do have the pink ward, spots Pride out. Zonda pops his Dominus passive, gets the Ruthless Predator, but Green Tea gets the Unstoppable Force. Westdor comes in with a kill onto Wins here, and they do seem to back off from this one. So it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade overall after TPS has decided to catch Nas out of position. Now Westdor is in a bit of trouble here. God JJ might be taken out by Ghana Devil. Yes, Ghana Devil is able to get the buff transfer onto him. Zonda has to use the slice and dice through the minefield and try to get away from that one. Orion and Zonda in quite a bit of trouble. Westdor does not have his destiny up just yet, so he will not be able to pick them off quite so easily.
So AHQ showing their team fighting caliber in these cases. We might not have our ultimates up, but we still have lots of CC and lots of abilities on our side. So long as we manage our cooldowns and manage our ultimates well, we are still going to win fights against you. So AHQ punishing the fact that TPS was trying to make use of the windows in which Destiny Kid and Grand Skyfall was down to try and punish them. They baited them into a chase and into a fight in which they didn't have that much vision control. So AHQ used that and picked a good fight for them in their own jungle against TPS.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting to see how AHQ has constantly taken the upper hand against Azubu Taipei Snipers. And they, like you said, well, we do have Green Tea being caught out here. This Malphite is quite tanky and he's going to take some time to kill him, but nevertheless, God JJ is able to pick up the kill onto that one. I don't know what Green Tea was doing so out of position, but great wards coming from the Azubu Taipei Snipers is able to get them a clean kill onto Green Tea. 22
minutes and 24 kills. Man, what a way to start the season.
That's right, this is a very high kill game. We may see Azubu Taipei Snipers try to invade and get a few more kills in the jungle. Zonda actually catches out both Prides and Naz and may decide to go in. He does have his dominance passive up. The Sonic Wave does not connect, and with the fact that Wins does not have his Dragon's Rage kick just yet, he may not decide to go in and pull off some fancy footwork. But once that one is up, the long range initiate coming from the Azubu Taipei Snipers may allow them to pick one or two squishy champions such as Garnet Devil or even Westdoor out immediately.
So Azubu Taipei Snipers sticking together to prevent the AHQ team from using the ultimates. They try and catch the team members out, learning quickly from the past mistakes. Azubu Taipei Snipers have adapted well to the game, and now they're starting to close the goal lead up. Currently, AHQ stands at 40,000 gold and Taipei Snipers at 35k. Only a difference of 5,000. So let's take a look at what does this mean in terms of items for both teams. So we see both top laners having Sunfire Cape, and they choose to deviate on certain... And actually, Rengar is actually a Giant's Belt ahead of Renekton in this case. And if we compare the junglers, earlier in the game, Wins was so far ahead of his jungling opponent. However, now, as the game has progressed, we see the Pantheon actually picking up more items over his lane counterpart in Lee Sin. Comparing the mid laners, Twisted Fate, an entire item ahead of Ziggs with the Lich Bane, and AD carry. Well, it's actually pretty even in this case.
Yeah, I would say that what Westdoor has as compared to Oriel is that he has that needlessly large rod. He does have the Zhonya's and the Lich Bane, whereas Oriel has decided to opt for the Ateen's Unholy Grail instead. We do see Azubu Taipei Snipers try to set up a pick here in this mid lane side brush, but it doesn't seem that AHQ will be taking the bait just yet. So currently I feel that the flow of the game is pretty much in AHQ's favor at this moment, but very good wards along the top half of the map coming in from Azubu Taipei Snipers will be able to pick out AHQ Esports if they do decide to venture into that territory in itself.
Usually games between AHQ and Taipei Snipers tend to be long and epic, and this could very well be one of them. We saw AHQ come back multiple times against the Taipei Snipers in the LNL, and now the Taipei Snipers are the ones finding themselves falling behind in this game. So will they be able to turn the tables on AHQ as AHQ has done to them in the past?
Yeah, so once again AHQ decides to start on the Dragon, and let's see how Azubu Taipei Snipers will respond to this one. The Ziggs bomb should be able to zone them and poke them down quite a bit. Price goes in for the on the hunt, gets out to God JJ. The culling comes out. Naz completely misses his Grand Skyfall as well as the flash, but God JJ is taken down by the Green Tea combo. The Destiny comes in. He does not get the gold card out, but nevertheless, the support on the side of Azubu Taipei Snipers will go down along with the jungler Wins. And right now, it seems like Zonda should not be able to survive this one. Price gets the bowler strike out, gets the slow, and on top of that, the jump in with the stun from Naz allows AHQ to win that team fight 4 kills to 1 death. So AHQ having that numbers advantage now may decide to press for an objective such as a turret or maybe even Baron. But it does seem that they are a bit too low and are still quite afraid of the burst combination coming out from Oriel. So they are still trying to decide where they want to go at this point of time.
So AHQ pulling further ahead. So that was AHQ identifying that they had hit a larger power spike as compared to their opponents and deciding to force an objective and force a fight over their opponents, using the ultimates to great effect to pick up a 4-for-1 trade.
That's right, I thought it was really good to see Price pop on the hunt. The moment any of these ultimates are popped, whether it's on the hunt, Grand Skyfall, or even Unstoppable Force, and even Destiny, I must say, we will know that AHQ wants to be the aggressor. So the moment Price kind of disappears from the map, it's on the owners of Azubu Taipei Snipers to try to back away as much as possible, or at least protect your squishy carries as much as possible, so that they don't get bursted down so quickly.
So now the question is, how is Taipei Snaipers going to come back into this game? We've seen them try a little bit of cheeky picks onto AHQ, and they know that they can't really contest objectives. So sooner or later, if they let things continue as it is, if they wait for AHQ's ultimates to all refresh, Azubu Taipei Snaipers is going to be lost of trouble. I think they need to start identifying points of time. They need to bait out the ultimates, let Green Team miss his ultimate, bait out the Grand Skyfall in a bad position, and turn the fight on AHQ in order for them to win this game.
It's interesting that you say that because Azubu Taipei Snipers aren't a team that likes to hand the flow of the game over to their opponents. They've been normally a team that wants to take the flow in their favor, or at least command the flow of the game. And it makes me question whether the retirement of both Mystic and Next ABC. Yes, we haven't really seen Next ABC play in quite some time, but Mystic is quote-unquote the shot call of the Azubu Taipei Snipers. And Zonda and Price actually do meet each other. Price does have that 5 ferocity stack, so it doesn't seem that Azubu Taipei Snipers want to mess with the Rengar or the Predator in the jungle at this point of time.
So the Taipei Snipers wisely choosing to back off in this situation, and now as they continue to stick together to avoid themselves from being picked up by Westdoor or Naz in this case. So this is a really frustrating situation from Taipei Snipers. We stick together and we are behind in this team fight. If we spread out, we get picked off by the Destiny Gate combo or the Grand Skyfall coming in from the Pantheon or Twisted Fate.
Yeah, so where do you think this game will go? Can Azubu Taipei Snipers actually go in with a 5v5 team comp here, or what's the team comp trying to achieve? Because it's quite obvious what AHQ is trying to do. Pop Destiny and get a good Grand Skyfall in. That's one combination that they can use. Or use Price as an initiating tool along with Naz. Westdoor can come in from behind, try to instantly burst someone down. Green Tea has the unstoppable force. Yes, he's a support Malphite, but support Malphite is quite tanky indeed. I like to point out what Green Tea has picked up as items. He's picked up a Haunting Geist as well as a Sorcerer's Shoe, so he wants to put in that additional damage with that magic penetration and deal that much more damage to the team of Azubu Taipei Snipers.
Well, we cannot count the Taipei Snipers out just yet because the team of Taipei Snipers, they have lots of mobility. Although the team of AHQ may hit them like an unstoppable force, the Azubu Taipei Snipers, they have lots of mobility coming in with the jumps from Astro and Lee Sin's skill set as well for them to maneuver around and try to find picks on the AHQ team. If they can find AHQ in Keller's position, perhaps catch Twisted Fate in a position where he doesn't want to be in, Azubu Taipei Snipers still have a chance to get back into this game.
Now, I don't know about just taking Westdoor down though, J-Storm, because it does seem that AHQ recognizes this fact and is constantly grouping up as a four-man down in one lane, and we do see the Grand Skyfall coming in, the Destiny combo, and Price goes in with the On the Hunt as well as the jump. The Unstoppable Force catches both Oriel and Zonda. Oriel just gets melted completely. Zonda pops his Randuin's Omens, gets the kickback from Green Tea, actually wins now in the middle of everyone. Awe trying to zone as many people as possible. He does do that at the cost of his life though. Wins actually gets the stun onto him. Got JJ trying to poke as much from the back, being the sleeping AD carry that Ezreal is. Uses the Arcane Shift to go in, isn't able to pick up the kill and is forced to flash away. So AHQ Esports is able to pick up that bot inhibitor now, and Azubu Taipei Snipers doesn't seem to have an answer just yet. Look at the amount of flashing health bars on AHQ. They get away with a clean 2-for-0 trade against Azubu Taipei Snipers and pick up the inhibitor as well.
There felt like a bit of miscommunication on the side of Taipei Snipers. Before that, they used to stick together as a team so well. But in this slight moment, they couldn't really decide whether they should go for bottom lane or mid lane. And because of that, the team split. AHQ saw this, they jumped in, used the Destiny Gate, used the Grand Skyfall. They picked up 2 kills and picked up an inhibitor as a result of that. So looking at the goal lead now, 8,000 goal in the favor of AHQ, 5 kills on top of Taipei Snipers, and entire tower on top of Taipei Snipers. So Taipei Snipers now, they must be feeling a little frustrated with themselves. In the previous season of the GPL, they beat this team. They beat AHQ 3-0 in the semi-finals, in which we saw it was quite a convincing victory of which TPS took over AHQ. In all 3 games, they took a dominating lead from the start to the end, and now AHQ is taking revenge. They're saying that we are the kings of the GPL. We won it 2 seasons ago, and we are here to win it again, making a statement in their first game.
Yeah, now seeing Zonda in the bot lane trying to fend off the waves of super minions, this might just kind of signal AHQ Esports to just go for that Baron control at this now, you know what I mean? And if they're able to get a few good wards down, which they haven't actually gotten yet, now the Baron vision is actually in favor of the Azubu Taipei Snipers. And AHQ doesn't seem to be wanting to put any wards down in the Baron area at this moment. So it tells me that AHQ might want to go for a separate objective. And I like to point out, Green Tea used that money to actually pick up even more. With the Unstoppable Force actually comes in onto that chain stun combo. Wins actually managing to survive that one. The culling comes out by being body blocked by both the squishy champions of O'Reilly as well as got JJ. So Wins actually managing to survive that one's going to be quite good for AHQ because AHQ, quite good for TPS because AHQ did blow quite a few ultimates there. The Destiny was popped, the Unstoppable Force was popped, the Culling was popped, and the On the Hunt ultimate was popped. So now is a point in time in which Azubu Taipei Snipers can actually capitalize on some of the mistakes, or at least the cooldowns from AHQ Esports.
So this is it. Taipei Snaipers have about a minute or so to make things happen before the cooldowns on the side of AHQ refresh and before they can all press R again. So now we see them actually splitting up with Ziggs at the bottom. Oh, the inhibitor at the bot lane. It seems to be crippling TPS so much at this point of time.
Yeah, it does seem that AHQ Esports will be going for even more global gold as they do pick up the third dragon of the game, if I'm not wrong, and they extend their gold lead to about 9,000 gold. Hitting that 10,000 gold threshold is going to allow them to pick up some crazy items. And let's kind of take a look at the items a bit, because something that kind of intrigues me is the fact that Green Tea has decided not to go for a tanky support build, but instead just pick up as much magic penetration as possible.
Well, so on the Malphite, we actually have an Abyssal Scepter down here, an AoE debuff on the enemy's magic resistance, and the Haunting Guides as well, which adds to his magic penetration as well, choosing to build AP on a support Malphite. At first, we thought that he was going to build tanky on him, but no, he says that this is an all-in team composition that we have, and I'm going to stick with the plan, picking up a Sorcerer's Shoes to go with those magic penetration items as well. And on the side of the rest of the team is... On the side of the rest of the team, we see Bloodthirster on Lucian, which means that his Culling is going to be doing lots of damage alongside Last Whisper, opting to go for those instead of the regular Triforce, which means that Lucian in team fights is going to be dropping Culling a lot more often.
Coming down the Destiny as well as that man drop will be coming in. A lot of damage onto Green Tea. However, Green Tea hasn't been able to get taken down just yet, but God JJ is the one first to fall because we do have Price and Westdog in the back lines. Westdog gets his Guardian Angel pop. O'Reilly is still onto the side. A lot of low health bars. Price actually managing to survive that one. He still is alive. Wins might be the next one to go down. And at this point of time, everyone is taken down extremely low, and surprisingly O'Reilly is able to get the double kill onto both Pride as well as Westdog in the bot lane. So O'Reilly being the one to actually be the saving grace for Azubu Taipei Snipers, and AHQ trade that one 4-4. A little bit over aggressive there, AHQ Esports. The moment they saw Awe actually burst, or at least use his Solar Flare and Zenith Blade combination, they felt that they had the upper hand, and yes, they managed to catch the entire Azubu Taipei Snipers in the Grand Skyfall as well as that On the Hunt combination. But nevertheless, Azubu Taipei Snipers say that if we actually focus fire properly and if we actually juggle the skills properly and keep O'Reilly alive as long as possible, Ziggs is going to do a tremendous amount of damage onto you.
So Azubu Taipei Snaipers showing why they are champion caliber, sticking together and baiting out the alters from AHQ into an unfavorable position from them. We actually saw them with AHQ Westdog. He came in, he only managed to pick off God JJ with his burst before getting turned on by the entire Azubu Taipei Snipers team.
Yeah, so I have to say something, because AHQ, despite kind of going even in that fight, the wave in the bot lane did manage to pick up the inhibitor once more. So this inhibitor is going to stay down on the side of Azubu Taipei Snipers, and it's going to be a cavity in their base, which will allow the constant stream of super minions to come in. So Azubu Taipei Snipers have to take that into account whenever they actually decide to pick a fight against AHQ Esports.
So once again, with that inhibitor going down, there's going to put out so much pressure for Azubu Taipei Snaipers. It means that AHQ can continue to use their ultimates freely, as whenever they use their ultimates, if we whiff them, it's okay. We can just back off, disengage, and wait an entire minute for them to come up while the inhibitor is still down. Hang on, Grand Skyfall comes in!
The Grand Skyfall comes in. Westdog does not actually go in for any sort of aggression, so the cooldown's not very high, but we do have the Unstoppable Force as well as the On the Hunt. The Ruthless Predator will go in as well, and it's going to be a messy fight overall, but it does seem that Azubu Taipei Snipers have the upper hand onto this one. Price actually taken down quite low green tea as well, and it's going to be a 1-for-2 trade with AHQ still knocking onto the inner middle turret of Azubu Taipei Snipers.
Well, once again, we see the creeps at bottom lane pushing further and further in. So this is what I was talking about. Grand Skyfall, he didn't really need to get a good one down there. He knows that the creeps are pushing in bot lane. They can afford to play it a bit more loosely with the ultimates in these cases. So, but however, the rest of the response from HQ was really good. Grand Skyfall came in, it didn't hit anyone, but hey, they grouped together. So Malphite goes in, hits them the Unstoppable Force, and AHQ goes in with the rest of the engage, picking up O'Reilly immediately at the start of the engage, and subsequently picking up Aoi to make it 2-for-1 in the favor of AHQ.
Yeah, so Azubu Taipei Snipers seem to be on the back foot. If they manage to dodge out the Grand Skyfall initiation, they have to be wary about the Unstoppable Force as well as on the Hunt combination coming in from Azubu Taipei Snipers. From AHQ Esports, sorry.
So now this once again brings back Azubu Taipei Snipers to the dilemma against Malphite and Westdoor, against Nas and Westdoor on Pantheon and Twisted Fate. You do not want to be splitting up against their global presence. Yet at the same time, if you stick together, Green Tea is going to come in, Unstoppable Force, and hit multiple members of your team. And after that, the Grand Skyfall and Destiny combo can still come in and wreak havoc onto your backline. So Azubu Taipei Snipers are really finding themselves in quite a pinch as to how are they going to rotate and position themselves to deal with this AHQ manners of a team composition.
Yeah, it's interesting that you point that out because if they, like you say, if they stick together, Green Tea is just going to use the Unstoppable Force, or Nas can come in the Grand Skyfall. But if they spread out, then Prize will just decide to go in with the on the Hunt ultimate and just pick off either God JJ or O'Reilly. We saw that the moment O'Reilly went down, AHQ was in a favorable position to actually pick up an objective.
So now once again, all the ultimates on the side of AHQ are back up, and now Taipei Snipers, they should have been keeping tabs of this and inhibit their bottom lane response. So now what does Taipei Snipers do? Do they go back to bottom and try to deal with it and try to defend the inhibitor, or do they hit and try to defend the Baron on which AHQ is pressuring?
So they do send O'Reilly to actually try to defend this bot inhibitor. At least keep the inhibitor alive and prevent the creeps from getting it. So I think it's a good choice because O'Reilly can still do quite a bit of damage. And we do have Zonda popping the ultimate. Pride's going is the flash and the Ruthless Predator. Westdoor is on the back lines but does not get bursted down by the ultimate of Ziggs there. And it's so messy this fight, but we do have Green Tea going down to the combination of Awe as well as God JJ. Prize is on the back foot now. Now we do have the Grand Skyfall coming in. Both Awe and God JJ needs to run for their lives. Nas actually does come in. He will not get the stun off to either of them. Gunner Devil from the side. That burst combination coming in. Nas gets shut down by God JJ. God JJ is now getting a triple kill. Now only Westdoor as well as Gunner Devil is alive for the side of AHQ Esports. And for Azubu Taipei Snipers, it's going to be O'Reilly as well as God JJ.
So very well played there by Azubu Taipei Snaipers. They knew AHQ were going to use the double threat of Baron and the bottom inhibitor to try and force their team to split up. But because of that, they knew their AHQ would be looking to pick a fight. And because of that, they could anticipate it coming. They bait out the ultimates correctly. And they played that extremely well, allowing them to trade evenly in that fight.
Yeah, that's right. Gunner Devil actually being spotted out there in the blue side jungle of Azubu Taipei Snipers. Westdoor soloing the Dragon now. Once again, HQ is going to pick up yet another global objective and extending their gold lead to, after this Dragon, it should be about 12,000 gold lead in their favor. Or, no, sorry, 11,000 gold lead in their favor.
So now we see Azubu Taipei Snaipers doing very strong triage down here. They know they're behind and they know what AHQ is going to bring to the table. However, throughout all these fights, no matter how well they play, Azubu Taipei Snipers, despite dodging all those ultimates, they have only so far managed to trade evenly. They're only stopping the bleeding from now. But AHQ is still knocking on the door repeatedly and bashing them in. So how are they going to come up from this? I would actually think that they need to try to find some pick-off onto either Westdoor or Nas when they try and set up, when they get a bit greedy with their global presence. Or either that, or try and find a whiffed ultimate or two and try and re-engage on the AHQ team, and try to re-engage on the AHQ team composition using the mobility of God JJ and Wins.
Yeah, so with that Baron, they did manage to deny Baron away from AHQ. However, it doesn't change the fact that their bot inhibitor is still exposed. So all AHQ needs to do is actually just waltz up the bot lane, kill one or two members of Azubu Taipei Snipers, and just take that inhibitor and then rotate to Baron. What Azubu Taipei Snipers needs to do now is actually win a team fight convincingly, which they haven't done. They've either been losing or going even. And when you go even with AHQ and the fact that they are more than 10,000 gold ahead of you, you're just not going to take any objectives at this moment, because the Grand Skyfall comes in along with the Unstoppable Force. God JJ will get picked up by Westlaw, who uses the Destiny to come in from behind. He does manage to get the Zhonya's off. Green Tea is taken out extremely low. Westlaw gets the Guardian Angel pop onto him. Green Tea actually managing to survive that fight. Zonda has to be forced to flash away from that one onto the fountain, gets the regeneration in. O'Reilly still trying to poke as much as possible, but Pride is there to be the tanky frontliner and disallow any sort of aggression from Azubu Taipei Snipers. It does seem that AHQ Esports is confident enough to actually close out the game. Zonda actually gets chunked really, really low. Pride's using that heal from his battle cry. Ghana Devil decides to go in for O'Reilly, uses that dash in to try to get as much damage as possible. Zonda taken out extremely low. AHQ Esports really won the game. Look at them all flashing red health bars. But don't forget, God JJ as well as Wins will be coming up in the matter of seconds. If they stay in the base any longer, they might cause themselves to lose the game, or not at least lose the game, or allow Azubu Taipei Snipers to actually claw back from this one, because the moment God JJ as well as Wins comes back, they might be able to get an ace against the low health bars of AHQ. So intelligently, they decide to back off and then fight another day.
I would actually think that the word here is discipline. So that was very disciplined by HQ to go in there and say that we don't really think we can end the game now. So let's just take whatever lead we have here before you get anything back onto us. So they just went in there, took an inhibitor out, took one of the inhibitor towers down, picked up 2 kills, and they left. So that leaves them at an almost 14,000 gold lead. At this point of time, Taipei Snipers, they're in a whole boatload of trouble.
Yeah, but as the game progresses, you do realize that Azubu Taipei Snipers, the goal difference is not going to matter as much. The amount of Guardian Angels being picked up on the side of AHQ isn't really going to matter when they are down. So that is effectively some lost gold in terms of stats coming in from AHQ. So nevertheless, if Azubu Taipei Snipers continue the way that they are playing and just allow AHQ to only win these small skirmishes, and the only thing that they've lost so far is that Nexus turret on the bottom side as well as the inhibitor. If they are able to survive for maybe the next 15 minutes or so, this goal difference isn't really going to matter too much.
So actually, I think this is very intelligent itemization coming in from the Taipei Snipers. Guardian Angels.
Green Tea might be coming in from a flank here. We do have the Grand Skyfall as well as the Unstoppable Force coming in. The Destiny is popped. Westlaw does come in from the back, and look at the amount of damage that's being done onto the entire team of AHQ actually, because Azubu Taipei Snipers are the ones trying to chunk them as low as possible, but Zonda goes down to that one. Green Tea is the first one to get focused down onto Azubu Taipei Snipers, and Azubu Taipei Snipers is forced to back off from this one. Yes, we saw the health bars of AHQ go down extremely low, but the moment the burst combination comes up once again from Naz, Ghana Devil, and Westlaw, we just saw Zonda get obliterated, and the rest of Azubu Taipei Snipers will be forced to back off from that burst combination as well.
Well, at this point, it feels like Taipei Snipers is this really old and sick man, and AHQ is repeatedly bashing them at 14,000 gold, at a 14,000 goal lead. AHQ, they're really playing well. They're an old man with lots of experience, so they're playing this correctly. They're doing all the things they need to do, but with age catching up to them and everything, and with the goal deficit that AHQ has over them, no matter how intelligently they play, AHQ is just going there and bashing their faces. But actually, I think TPS down here, as we start to see all members of hit 6 items on both sides, they might still have a chance if they pick up any team fight at this point of time. If they manage to ace AHQ, maybe 5 for 1, 5 for 2, they have a possibility of coming back and going for Nexus straight.
I don't know.
With the death timers.
J-Storm, I honestly don't know about that hypothesis, but it's a fact that AHQ has been using this initiation quite cleanly. If you notice, every single time, the Grand Skyfall will come down, the Destiny will get popped, Green Tea will go in for Unstoppable Force, and Westlaw will use the gate combination to get into the back lines and try to burst down either O'Reilly or God JJ instantly with the items that he has right now. That's quite easy for a Twisted Fate to do.
So I think it's basically up to Taipei Snaipers to find an answer to this catch-22 of if you split, you get caught out by Twisted Fate and Grind Skyfall. If you stick, you get hit by Unstoppable Force.
And not forgetting the On the Hunt ultimate coming in from Price. If you split up, Price can just instantly go in and zone a carry out of position. So Price here, extremely tanky on his Rengar, will just be soaking up some turret shots, and I wonder how Azubu Taipei Snipers will be forced to deal with this. The Destiny actually gets popped because we do have God JJ trying to deal as much damage as possible to Westdoor, and that ultimate comes in. Zonda goes in. So many ultimates being used by Azubu Taipei Snipers. We get to see stuff happening in the backline. Zonda gets taken down quite low. Isn't really able to die just yet. Are we just tanking the brunt of that culling? And Garnet Devil being chunked down extremely low by the Ziggs bomb. So everyone on AHQ relatively low. Azubu Taipei Snipers have the safety of their own fountain to actually heal up and get back into the fight once more. But nevertheless, AHQ esports are slowly but surely chipping away at objectives, and this might be a turning point for either AHQ or Azubu Taipei Snipers, because AHQ has decided to go for the Dragon. And don't forget, going against the Baron, going for a Baron against Winds, it might be okay. Well, that's the other tactic that you can use. Just kill Winds and prevent him from getting the Smite steal away. So AHQ intelligently and, like you said, disciplinedly decide to back off from the Baron and just kill Winds immediately with that stun combination from Twisted Fate as well as Pantheon.
Just go in and kill him. That solves the problem. If they don't have a jungler, they can't steal the Baron.
Yeah.
So now we see Westdoor picking up more objectives for his team. Picking up a Dragon. Well, actually, I wonder what does this Dragon do at this point. It's worth lots of go at 48 minutes, but with everybody on 6 items already, it gives Twisted Fate a bonus to go from his passive.
Yeah, basically all they want to pick up is the Elixirs of Fortitude and the Elixir of Brilliance, just to give them the additional bonus stats on top of the bonus stats that the Baron is giving them right now. And yeah, you just pointed out the 6 item build coming in from all members of AHQ. At this moment, we do see that some of the boots have not yet been upgraded. And speaking about boots, Gunner Devil doesn't have any shoes on him at this moment.
He just sold this to buy an Infinity Edge, actually. So now the only person who doesn't have max item is Malphite on the side of AHQ, which, oh, he just upgraded the Live G-Storm, speaking of which. So now with everybody having full items on the side of AHQ, AHQ will want to end the game about now before Taipei Snipers manages to hit their maxed out items on their sides.
Interesting. Pride's just sold an item, but he's not anywhere near his base.
Interesting indeed.
Yeah.
Well, so now AHQ positioning themselves outside the base, looking for the Grand Skyfall on the hunt. Is it popped? And Grand Skyfall comes in as Unstoppable Force gets onto God JJ, as we see ultimates being dropped everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. And it does seem that Azubu Taipei Snaipers is being taken down extremely low. God JJ is the first one to go down. Winds will be the next one. Westdoor as well as Garnet Devil playing very well this game. On top of the initiation combination coming in from AHQ, this may spell the end for Azubu Taipei Snipers and the winners of the first game of the GPL Spring Split. Oriel gets caught up, gets the Zhonya's off. I don't think he will survive out of this one. He actually gets the Satchel Charge out, takes out Green Tea in the process before he dies, but it does seem that AHQ will be the winners of this first match of the GPL Spring Split. So AHQ Esports beat the Azubu Taipei Snipers in a pretty long game coming in, and it was quite messy, I must say. All the initiations coming in from the Grand Skyfall to the Unstoppable Force to the On the Hunt, and that was an exciting game indeed.
Wow, I think that was 73 kills in a 50-minute game. What a way to start the season. What a way to start the season.
Yeah, that's right. So, what do you think about the game that actually came in from Azubu Taipei Snaipers as well as AHQ Esports? I felt that both teams didn't really play the way I expected them to play, but AHQ definitely came in for team comp, and it took them a while to execute it, but once they got the ball rolling, it really got rolling.
I think this was very good strategy on the part of AHQ. They basically set up the catch-22 with the Malphite, with all the ultimates. The Malphite ultimate says that if you stick, you get hit with Unstoppable Force. If you spread, you get caught out by the ultimates of Twisted Fate and Pantheon.
Yeah, that's right. And not only that, I mean, it's going to be interesting to